Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back from the ad break. You are still watching Prime Live. Now, we are honored to have Mrs. Koketso Moseneke join us today to discuss the Supreme Cadets Institute, an inspiring initiative that is there to empower the youth of Atteridgeville. Now, as a founder and patron of this non-profit, Koketso has tirelessly nurtured the potential of young cadets through programs that foster leadership skills, academic excellence, and holistic well-being. Driven by her deep commitment to transforming lives and strengthening communities, Koketso is a testament to the transformative power of education and youth development. Thank you so much for joining us on Prime Live, and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Now, before we can, start on the institute itself, can you maybe tell us about what it is all about and what it offers?
Okay. So, 2012, my late sister-in-law, Meriki, was a teacher in Tembisa. And she said to me at the time, something weird is happening. Children are falling pregnant at a very young age. And we can't sit back and not do anything about it. I then spoke to my husband. We started a little foundation to try and help stop pregnancies, teenage pregnancies. But our approach at the time was that we should give teenage mothers support so that we can almost rehabilitate them to go back into society, go back to school. After about a year, I said to Meriki, it's not working. By the time they have children, you've lost them. By the time they get to pregnancy, you've lost them. We need to establish a platform for children from primary school so that when they go to high school, they have a place where they have values. We teach them values. We teach them to look after themselves, to be selfish about their own bodies, to prevent pregnancies from there. Because what happens is that children in primary schools are in an environment that is very protected. Each of them have a class teacher, they have, and then they go to high school. It's a different place altogether. It's almost like a matriculant going to varsity, right? But what we do is that we start with children from grade 6, grade 7. By the time they go to grade 8, they still know they are cadets. They have a home, they have sisters, they have brothers. And how we have arranged it is that we took then unemployed graduates. We call them rangers, and in fact 2 of them are here. And the rangers look after the little ones, the ones from grade 6 to matric. We started off with about 40 children. Now we have 120. It is an expensive exercise. I wish we could take more children. It is only this year that we managed to find a corporate sponsor that came and partnered with us. But for the past 8 years, 9 years, it's been, my husband and I's work after Meriki passed away. And then my husband passed away in 23, so it's mine to carry through. And let me tell you something, it has given me reason to wake up, even through the grief. So giving to these children, weird. Just yesterday, we were looking at a picture of one of our cadets who was in grade 4 when he started with us. You should see him now, he's in grade 11. He enters the ESCOM Expo competition every year. He's always in the top 3. He was a little boy when he joined. And he's out there, and he's not the only one.
This is so inspiring, and I like the fact that this is, for the community of Atteridgeville. It's in Atteridgeville. I think we need institutes like these in townships, But let's speak about the age group that you help.
Yes.
Is it all kids, all age groups? Is it both genders? Do you do boys and girls? Tell us about that.
I'm very particular about combined genders. And I know in South Africa we are obsessed with girls, right? Take a girl child to school, do this for girls, this is for girls. And I always say, and what about the little boys? There's a whole generation of children, and my feeling is that we should do good for all. I'm very strict about that when we recruit children. By the way, children apply to become cadets. And I'm always strict to say, where are the boys? The boys must be part of this. It is not a girls only. We start with children from grade 6. What are they? They're about 11, 12, right up to matric. When they get to matric, it's a bit tricky for us because the government has, or the schools have extra classes on Saturdays, which is when our programs actually starts. I must tell you that we targeted deliberately children from informal settlements. They come from Limpopo, they come from Mpumalanga, they come from where I come from in the Northwest. And the reason we do that is because teachers don't have time for extra classes for the children. Even when a teacher sees that this child has potential, at 1:45, they must be standing at the bus. They lose out at the bus stop, waiting for the bus to take them home. They lose out on sport. They lose out on extra classes. They lose out on counseling when it's supposed to happen. So we target them. They are maybe 60-65% of our children, and then we have other children. And the reason we do that is that then on a Saturday when we pick them up, we have tutors that we pay to give them extra classes. They can participate in sport, they can participate in debates, they can participate in what other children have time to actually participate in normal school time.
And I mean, in townships, we do know that a lot of times we've got issues of poverty, we've got instability at home. There's so many issues that are there, and to have an institute like this in townships comes with a lot of challenges. But let's talk about the challenges, I mean, or how you address these challenges amongst the youth, making sure that they stay above all these issues.
So children come, and children are part of a family. In fact, the teachers were very upset with me the other day when I was saying to them, when the children come to them, they're already cracked because of the problems at home. And it is up to the teachers whether they're going to squeeze them and destroy them, or whether they're going to nurture them so that they grow. We have every week without fail a meeting with the rangers. Each ranger has a group of children that they look after. We are the patrons. There are 4 of us that are patrons, almost like the elders, right? Every Tuesday night, we sit and they tell us what happened on Saturday. Which child did they see looked depressed? Which child did not have shoes that fitted them? Or, you know, what kind of problems they have. And we do home interventions. We involve a partner of ours in the SAPS called Mapula Rekotso, who's been very helpful. We involve social workers where it is involved, where we can. But in most cases, we find that just sitting with parents and explaining to them what challenges they have, because hurt people, right? And how they are taking them out on their children, how they are impacting the children. It has brought great change. We have parents who are violent. That's what they know, how to discipline their children. And we tell them that's what you're teaching your child love is. The language of love in them is violent. This child is going to grow violent. And that's how we have GBV and so on. So our counseling helps. And just to tell you what I think is an interesting story is that we did an intervention where a parent had been violent with a child, and we form a circle of love. When we talk about this, the child is here, the parent is here, and towards the end I said, just tell me what it is that you love about your child. Just, you know, because when you are angry, right, what you actually love about the person flies out of the window. And I said, just tell me what it is that you love about your child. I couldn't believe it when she says, you know, this child wakes up in the morning on Sunday and clean. This is an 11-year-old, or 14-year-old, cleans the whole house. She praised this child. And I couldn't believe, when she said it, it was almost like a bulb moment for her, because she had forgotten in her moment of anger, in her moment of anguish. She had forgotten that was good about this child. And the changes that we have seen in many instances where we have done our circle of love have been amazing. So these children are not just cadets. They are human beings that come from homes. Sometimes those homes, in fact, in most cases, those homes do have problems.
I mean, you do such amazing work, and I'm sure it takes more than just passion to push through these challenges for yourself, because you need to also be in a certain state of mind for you to be able to deal with these situations. What has been the most challenging thing about the work that you do?
So our children have a pledge, and part of the pledge is for them to aspire to spiritual and body purity. We tell our children there is no reason for 12-year-olds to be having sexual intercourse. In fact, until you are an adult and understand what it means, you have no right to be doing that. So we talk about it. What has been most painful for me is when we have had to let go 2 girls that fell pregnant. And I struggled with it. I struggled with it because on the one hand, we have 120 children that are watching to see if this child is going to be allowed, or these children are going to be allowed to go on to become cadets. But whether it was a mistake or not, it is everything against what we are teaching the children, right? So, yeah, dismissing them from the cadets, that was extremely painful for me. And for a while, I felt like I failed, almost personally. But I'm a coach, so I could sit with it or speak to somebody about it, because it was really quite difficult. And then we had to dismiss 3 children who came to the cadets with a vape. One of the undertakings of a pledge is that you will not use substances, and they come to the meetings with it. And even more sad for me was that the grade 10s who had been vaping gave the vape to a grade 8 to hide. So the rangers searched all of them, did body search. They said, we're going to find it. And they did find it in a grade 8 who had hidden it under a vest and so on. All 3 children were dismissed. So every time I have to let a child go, I have to prepare myself emotionally and detach, because I would rather save the 115 that are left. And we have children that started with us in grade 4, some in grade 6, who are now in matric, and some are in varsity. We have these rangers that you see here are 3rd generation rangers. Their seniors have been employed elsewhere because the work that they do is really giving them vocational training. So it's been just wonderful to see their growth as they go into the market.
I mean, I love the sound of this. It sounds like such a beautiful institute, right? And the impact that you're having on the community. So let's talk about where do you see this institute going in the next 5 to 10 years? What impact would you like to see it have in the community?
You know, now that we have a partner, a corporate partner, Pareto, and I must say so, through the CEO, Malusi Kikana, and Ntate Dan Musito, as well as Mr. Ruben Mojano, they have given us an oomph and a lift to grow it and to continue this. In fact, I was thinking of stopping it this year. I had counted and said, we are all in each other's lives for a reason and a season. And I think that I have done enough, especially after losing my husband. And I just could not carry it. You must remember our children, 125 of them pay 200 rand per annum. And we transport them, we buy them uniform, we feed them, we pay tutors. It is an expensive exercise. And when Pareto came and said, please don't close down because they have seen the impact of what we have done, don't close down, we will partner with you. We will, like serious partnership of 50-50. I thought, wow, this is God speaking. There's no other way, right? This is God saying your work is not yet done, and if you are falling short, I will lift you and help you. So we intend to grow the children, the number of children, grow the number of rangers as we have, and we will do that. I must tell you that we never thought we will get involved in infrastructure development. But our children go to so there are two schools that we work with, the primary schools that we recruit from. We never thought we would do infrastructure development, but every time I went to the school where they meet, and I went to the toilets, and the rangers would say, Ma, come and see the toilets that the children use. I was saddened. This is a school with almost 2,000 children, 6 toilets for girls, not all of them are working all the time, and about 4 toilets for boys. There's 6, but 2 of them are not working. We have refurbished all those toilets and added more. We put in 27 brand new toilets for that school. In fact, we handed them over to the school now in May. In the other school, we did the same. We refurbished the toilets. It's about dignity, right? It's about, and what I like is that then the children of the school, the community of the school benefits because our children, our little cadets are participating in those schools. We have just put together a shelter for a school in Lotus Gardens. They used to have a small shelter. As a result, they could only have grade 6s and 7s during assembly. And if you see the pictures now with all the children under this enlarged and extended shelter, it was, for me, that is what it's about, right? And there are so many South Africans who do so much for communities, for children. We are a revolutionary people. When we see a problem, we don't say government must do X, Y, and Z, because if we do that, we're going to wait forever. There are many of us that are doing a lot of good things. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we have run out of time. I would have loved to have this chat prolonged because, I mean, you're doing such amazing work, and I love the fact that it's situated in Atteridgeville. I think it's such a flex, you know, it's such a good thing to see that you are working so hard and the people that you're working with to empower the youth, to empower the young ones. So thank you so much for joining us and for giving us, you know, just a little bit of an insight on the work that you do, because I'm sure you didn't even cover half the beautiful things that
I
you've
didn't.
done.
I didn't tell you about the walk that we have, which is big.
Yes.
But it's okay. I mean, we have a walk on the 28th. We say it's an achievers walk. And we walk in the streets of Atteridgeville. Everybody's invited. You should see it. It is like a moving carnival where our children sing, where we have drum majorettes, and we have all kinds of people. And then we have elders that put on their gowns to come, their academic regalia, to come and encourage the little ones of what they can become. And we invite the police, we invite the nurses, So yes, yes, there's a lot you and I can talk about, but thank you for the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Hopefully, we can invite you back to hear more about how the
I would
walk
love
went.
that.
Would
Yes,
definitely love that.
yes, I really
Viewers at home,
appreciate
this
that.
was an amazing conversation that I just had with Mrs. Moseneke regarding the Supreme Cadets Institute that's based in Atteridgeville. I don't know if you're not inspired. I don't think there's anything that can inspire you, because I am so inspired by this beautiful conversation and the great work that it's doing for the youth of Atteridgeville and South Africa at large, because I see this growing into such a bigger institute. But without wasting any time, let's go to an ad break. We'll see you right after this.